What's up, what's up? It's Lord Mav representing the Black Moon Pack, and we here with another real nigga news. Now we back. We back like I said I was gonna be back, y'all. We here to talk about the real things in life. And I'ma just get straight into it. So our first topic for today is the American education does not work for black people. Now, is reasons why I say this. I was watching an interview with Vlad TV and Godfrey, where Godfrey was basically talking about, as people do, they're talking about reparations, and Vlad is talking like education is really the only way that reparations could work, where the country isn't going to look at it as a bad thing. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's a smart idea, but it's also forcing people to do something in a way. Think about it like this. To say that this is the only way that reparations would work, that the country would work with it. Keep in mind when Vlad is also talking about kickback, let's say for black people, we get free school because of reparations. To any school we want to go to, it'll be paid for. That's kickback, and that's kickback for the slavery, and then they want kickback, meaning that we learn what we learn to help the country progress. So it's like a win-win situation. Slavery wasn't a win-win situation. This is the problem. Why the fuck are we looking for win-win situations for the country that enslaved a race of people? It shouldn't be a win-win situation. We need to get our win that they lost like they did to us. That's the ideal situation. Give us the dough, nigga. That's what I'm talking about. You saw in my last podcast, I explained, if we was to get reparations, what we should do with it. But now we're talking about reparations itself. Well, we're really talking about college, but just the topic of reparations going towards college, it's such a lockdown situation where it's like if somebody, let's say you gave $20 to somebody, right? And they you like, yo, can I get my money back? And they like, yo, I'll give you this $20, but you can only go to the store and get a sandwich with it. I'll give you $20, but only in $5 increments with sandwiches. That's the same thing as saying, niggas, we gonna give reparations, but only for college, Because you shouldn't dictate. Some niggas don't want to go to college in life, because there's motherfuckers out here that made it other ways. You can't say that that's the only way. It's niggas out here that made it from college, niggas out here that didn't make it from college, niggas that went to college and didn't make it nowhere. It's any possibility. So just to take everybody and say, for reparations, we're gonna send them to school. That's the craziest shit, It's the craziest shit. So that thought right there with them talking about just reparations led me to thinking about school itself. I spoke about school before, just how it's not for us. But what I'm really talking about now is how we go to school for real and don't learn nothing about ourselves, right? So my analogy for it was it's like if the gazelle spent all this time trying to learn how to better feed itself to the lion, This system is something that really kills us. It's something that separates us. And I'm not talking more than minorities. It pretty much does this shit to everybody, It's like we get together on our own. The times when we go out and party and do all this dumb shit, we getting that shit together on our own. But when we live in a country and see the things that they want us to do, it's all done in separation and division. We end up together because that's just how we are. But they want us separated. So really talking about black people, when we go to school, we make it such a big thing. Oh, go to school, go to school. But you going to school to learn something that's only going to further this country. You know that because you're going to go work somewhere that's going to make money, that's going to better feed the country. Even if at the time of you working there, you still struggling. And that's what we get to talking about win-win situations. None of this shit is win-win. You understand that? So when we go to school, we only really learn about history. I already said by the time you get out of really elementary school, middle school, you know how to speak well enough, So we only learn about American history. And when we learn about black people or Spanish people, it's only from the perspective of American history, It's usually not, if it's a publicly funded shit, the education that you're learning about is from their perspective. You know how they say history is written by the winners or the victors? It's like that. History is told by the victors. They are the victors in the situation, and they telling the kids of the losers hey, this is your history and this is who you were. They don't go back. They start with slavery. They start with, well, there's a topic that they don't want to talk about, and then they start from there. They don't start from what was before. And that's another reason why I think niggas is lying, but we ain't talking about that. They start from the history of slavery just to give us that little this is what you are type shit. They don't give us anything else after slavery to let us know that, hey, we did do other things in this world. And that's the fucked up part. So we don't learn anything about ourselves. We learn all about them, making it so that we think America is the be all and end all of society in modern day. That's one and the same. Like, you can't just teach niggas all about one place. And that's their goal, to teach niggas about one. I guess the education is not really good for anybody, but I'm focused on black people. But when you look at the education, it's like, I don't know. All I can say is, what is niggas learning out here? What are you learning that'll keep you surviving after the country is gone? What? Nothing. Nigga, if you can't make food and society breaks down, then you just over with. You done. That's it. That's it. But black people really don't need to be fucking. There's other ways for us to. My plan. It's crazy because I really can't speak on this so much because it's just my plan. You know? It's my plan. Niggas got to get their own shit together. Of course, go to school to learn trade things. Learn what we need to learn to make a country work. But to go to school to learn about furthering this country is kind of crazy when you know that this country just want to kill you. And there's no amount of school and you getting in political positions that's going to stop that. Because killing everybody is written into the fucking, the soul of this nation. Just kill everybody and get what you could get out they body, out they time. And that's just what it is, yo. So I guess that's all I really got to say about that. Watch the previous podcast and watch this one just so you could, get the full scope of what I was trying to say. I feel like I covered a lot with that reparations topic, and I covered it at school before, so it's whatever. So the second topic we got today is about the Federal Reserve, These is real easy topics. I thought they was hard, but they easy. That's why I didn't have a good time, starting to record this. I realized, I guess, in my head subconsciously it was about to be a short episode. So, because it's simple topic, so the second topic is about the Federal Reserve having all the money. So this is, once again, me listening to Godfrey and Vlad, and real quick they was like, hey, but the richest man, Vlad was like, hey, the richest man in the world is actually an African guy, and it's like, well, that's cool, but we still use money, dollars is still dollars, not gold. Other people currencies is backed by things, physical things. But when we go to the American dollar, it's not backed by anything. So it's basically like a promise. So if the Federal Reserve is owned by people, it's not owned by the government. The Federal Reserve is owned by people, right? They technically own the money. The money is not backed by anything that can be taken back from them. That means that we move off of their promises. So if they promise changes, this is the analogy I thought of for this. You can talk of anything you want about a minority being the richest person in the land. The problem is the money that they have, anything that they can do in life is pretty much being dictated by the Federal Reserve. Because at any time, the main currency that's being used in this world, which is the American dollar, can be changed to being something else, Just like Bitcoin is on its way in. Well, Bitcoin is here, but Bitcoin is anywhere from $600 to $6,000 for one Bitcoin. So let's say the Federal Reserve decided today that Bitcoin is the new currency. You need $6,000 to get one Bitcoin. Let's say it takes 100 Bitcoins to buy a house. Or let's say they even keep it the same. You still got to spend $60,000 on the house or something like that. But you got to now spend 60,000 Bitcoins. But one Bitcoin is worth $6,000. Like, you see where this shit can go wrong easily. So it's like wealth really doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, a single person can be the richest motherfucker in the world, but is he richer than these specific families who all have billions of dollars? They work together. All of their goals are being accomplished together through them having this unlimited source of money, through them being in charge of all the money. I don't think of a nigga being the richest from, when I was in school, I was heavy on my Illuminati shit. So one of the teachers was on her, oh yeah, a Mexican person is actually the richest because he owns all the cell phone companies in Mexico. It's like, cool, Mexico ain't that big. He owns cell phones. Niggas is out here owning currency. Y'all not thinking about the big picture. If the Federal Reserve niggas right now decided that they shoelaces is the only thing on earth that's worth anything, guess what? Be a lot of starving ass niggas out here. Be a lot of rich ass African, rich ass Mexican niggas that used to be rich, but now they don't got the shoelaces, the proper shoelaces. So what they gonna do? They gotta start their whole life over, you know? And that's all I gotta talk about today, yo. These is things These are just things to think about. The American education system doesn't work for anybody who wants to be themselves, who wants to get things for themselves that's not tied to this country. It's from the start of school, it's about learning how to sit somewhere and deal with something that you don't want to do. Because that's what you get. In school, they tell you you're not going to get a good job. You're not going to be able to go nowhere in life. And that fact is supposed to keep you going back to school every day. But we see that some kids just can't fuck with it. And nigga, I'm not sitting here. My cousin told me a story where he was like, I was asking him, yo, why you dropped out of school? He was in art school a long time ago. And he like, hey, yo, son, I tried. So it was even one day when I went and shit. But then, halfway through, I just left. And he said he passed by a security guard. He just shook his head like he couldn't do it. Nigga said, I'm gone, so I'm out. And that's just like funny shit. Like some people just can't sit somewhere. With all the talent this nigga got, it's very hard to just fucking sit somewhere when you know that you passed that, For motherfuckers like me, like it killed me to be in school. That's why my grades was poor, because that shit was so boring. Y'all niggas teach me something and I learned it the first time y'all taught me, but now I gotta sit around learning it for the rest of the week. And you want me to go home and learn it more? Like, nigga, I already know it. Leave me alone. Give me some space. You know what I mean? So school is not the best thing in that regard. School ain't the best thing because it's not teaching anybody about their history. It's only teaching you about American history. When you go deeper into the learning of your people, it's always going to be from the perspective of what they think. You're not going to get the whole story. The whole story ain't even offered to you. You can only get parts because where you learning is an American education system, regardless of if it's private or public. Niggas still got to teach a curriculum that has to be approved by the government first. Think about that. Ain't no school that's just going to come up and start teaching shit because it's going to be problems created, And more specifically, they're not teaching us how to sustain ourselves past themselves, They don't teach us how to sustain ourselves in the event that this country would be fucked up, While these niggas over here, if you seen High School of the Dead, the president was in the air. The president was in the air, but it was a zombie on board Air Force One. So, the president had to keep changing. They had to keep killing the president. Then a new nigga was president. It's like, why they going through all them changes trying to keep their society running? We down here losing it, And that's basically what it is. These niggas will leave us in the dust. So don't go to school. Go to school. If you're going to go to school, remember that going to school is to learn something, to come back, to help your people out, not to just get money and live amongst white people, because that's the main point that I forgot. That's the main point of what I was saying while I brought this topic up. Niggas get money, go to college, and through college you become brainwashed, and now your whole mindset is towards, hey, I made this much shit, and it was so hard that I'll be damned if I give something up. I'd be damned if I live where I lived before and go there and try to make shit better for other niggas that ain't go through what I went through. So you end up, being mad at lower people for not doing what you did to get in a better position, and you end up helping nobody. And that's for most of the people that go through. We're not talking about the Jay-Z's and niggas that get rich, because the honest part of it is that if you don't have a certain amount of money with most people, then you think that it's impossible to help, And that's what that topic is about. The Federal Reserve topic, hey, listen, this money is worthless. This money can be changed to be anything else at any time. So don't put too much faith in it. And don't be sitting around trying to find ways to make it seem like minorities or dark-skinned people in this world is at top. Because we not at the top right now. Just be honest with it. That's how we make moves to make different shit. Not by lying to ourselves, calling ourselves kings and queens. Niggas looking at the Mexicans like, yeah, this motherfucker own all the cell phones. Like, it's bigger shit than that. Some niggas own everything. Some niggas own countries. What are you talking about? Fuck a cell phone, nigga. The cell phone exists in the country that's owned by somebody, right? That's all I got to talk about, yo. It's Lord Mav, representing the Black Moon Pack. Real nigga news. That was a real nigga thought. Thank y'all for sticking by me, yo. I know this shit been hectic, but I'm getting everything right. Oh, I had to mention, check out my album, The Cannabis. I finally put it up on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Juice World died, so I'm like, I don't know, I'm just feeling something about rap right now. I'm like, I gotta get this shit done. So, I got The Cannabis now up on YouTube. Check that out. That's Lord Mav B.M.P on YouTube. That's my little handle. That's my title. If you want to type in my little profile, you click on that and you can find there's a Playgrounded album that I released last year. You could type that in if you want, Lord Mav B.M.P Playgrounded. Of course, the B.M.P has little dots in it because it's an acronym. So that's Lord Mav B.M.P on YouTube. You can look up my Playgrounded album from 2018, and I released The Cannabis a couple days ago, so you can check that out too. A lot of cool songs up there, and I'm gonna be releasing a lot more stuff. I'm hoping, if you listen to me, you also interested in rap. I'll preview some things up here. And, I'm just trying to put everything together. I'm trying to have my audience be my audience. So thank you for sticking by me. If you end up checking out my music, man, thanks for that. And once again, thanks just for waiting for these episodes, because sometimes I be having shit to do. Sometimes I'm waiting for numbers. Sometimes I'm waiting just for the proper thoughts. And that's why, Real Nigga News is different from other news sites, because they just be saying whatever. They got to get the story out because it's like a TV show that they got to have every night. I want to talk about the important stuff. So thanks for giving me this outlet. I got a little charity ad spot coming on the way, so wait for that. And for real, y'all, Lord Mav B.M.P. Check out my YouTube site. Check out my videos. The Cannabis album out now. Just check it out, man. My music gonna be going on a lot of different platforms, in the coming future, but I'm trying to still just rock with YouTube for the moment. So, thank y'all. And it's Lord Mav. And I'm out. Peace.